and welcome to the Short Stuff. Josh here, Chuck here. That's it. And this is Short Stuff.
Yeah, I kept thinking we had covered this, but I don't think we covered it this specifically. And what made me think of this was the other day I saw a video that was a drone flying over North Sentinel Island. And these, this uncontacted tribe looking up, obviously, and they were pretty high up. They weren't buzzing them, I will say that. Yeah. But I was also like, and I was heartened to find the Instagram comments were mainly like, please leave them alone.
Yeah.
Largely. But North Sentinel Island is part of a larger island chain called the Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal, about 700 miles off of India. And it is noteworthy because anywhere between 50 and 500 of these Sentinelese people live there completely uncontacted, even though they're like maybe 20 miles away from islands that have incorporated some modern spoils.
Yeah, and they live essentially in the same manner as Neolithic hunter-gatherers. They don't wear clothes. They walk around naked as the day they were born. They spearfish. They use dugout canoes that aren't particularly seaworthy. And they don't like visitors at all. Essentially, there's been one event of contact with them that you could even remotely consider peaceful. I guess it would definitely be yeah. But every other contact with them has either been repelled by a volley of arrows or has resulted in the person's death. I should say, and or resulted in the person's death from that volley of arrows. And that's why, like, those Instagram comments were saying, like, leave these people alone. They've clearly told the modern world, leave us alone.
Yeah. In other words, these people are your heroes.
Yeah, kind of. Naked, like, the naked part especially.
Yeah, really think a lot of these folks. I got to get me a bow and arrow. Right. In the 18th century is when they were first discovered with Dutch, Austrian, and British merchant ships looking for better trade routes. And the first European settlers arrived there in the 1850s when Britain built a penal colony on an island about 30 miles from North Sentinel Island. And kind of not too long after that, I guess it was about 40 years or so, there was a prisoner who tried to escape on a raft from that penal colony, washed up on shore of North Sentinel, and they found him, dead by arrows, rather.
Yes. And that confirmed those sightings from the 1770s that there were definitely people living on this island. There's no natural arrows that you can fall on top of. That's just how it goes. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules.
Sword. Everyone knows that. You don't fall on an arrow.
Right. But even still, if you do fall on an arrow, somebody made that arrow. So it definitely suggested human human habitation of the island. And it also showed, they probably don't want people showing up, even accidentally like that prisoner did. Yeah,
for sure. He was like, I got out of there. I washed up on this island. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Shoop, shoop, shoop.
Ooh, that's a really good arrow sound.
Message for you, sir. In 1967, the Anthropological Survey of India sent a team of 20 people to try and make peaceful contact with them. They were well known at this point for, like, any ship that comes by, they're going to get arrowed at least as a warning. Probably not killing anyone from the shore to a ship, but that message again saying, please don't come here. Mm-hmm. And they went ashore and they basically had gone into hiding. They saw their huts. They saw that they had fires going and abandoned their meals. I am quite sure that they were, the Sentinelese were sitting there watching them from wherever they had perched,
sure,
kind of going through their stuff. And so they left them some gifts. They left them coconuts because they didn't have coconuts. They left them iron rods and sporks.
Yeah, plastic utensils, which is so bizarre.
Yeah, I didn't get that part.
It's like, hey, why don't you learn how to litter? That'll make you modern.
Yeah, like, is this the best thing we can offer you that you haven't seen yet?
You mentioned that they had fires going. I read somewhere that they are thought to not actually know how to make fire and that they keep embers tended from lightning strikes or fires created naturally from lightning strikes.
Quest for Fire. Remember that one?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Should we take a break?
Yeah, and let's go watch Quest for Fire.
All right, I'll be right back. Radon Chong.
Yeah, and what was the guy's name?
Oh, yeah, the guy.
Sonny Bono.
No. Wasn't it Quest for Fire? What's his face?
Hellboy.
Hellboy, yeah.
Ron
Livingston.
Whatever.
No.
Ron
different
Popeil.
Ron. Oh, I can't think. People are screaming at us right now. He's a feisty guy.
In real life? In real life?
Yeah.
He was great in Drive. You remember that movie?
Yeah, I love Drive.
Great movie. I think I've told you before, I did a double feature of Drive and Neon Demon, and my brain was just melting.
Wow. Ron Perlman, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Rhea Perlman.
I wonder if they're related.
Maybe. They look very similar.
All right. So where did we leave off? They came back after their one semi-successful, offering of coconuts and things like that. Mm-hmm. And in the early 1990s, they said, hey, let's take another stab at this. And let's bring a woman this time, which turned out to be a really good idea, it seems like.
Yeah, because this was the one encounter that you could truly call peaceful, because they actually did encounter the Sentinelese this time. And it totally makes sense that the presence of a woman would have made it a peaceful encounter, because I could see that if the Sentinelese followed typical patriarchal structures, they don't take women on raiding parties. So the presence of a woman would suggest that this wasn't a raiding party. And they let their guard down for one reason or another. I think that's the likeliest reason. They let their guard down. And the way that the Anthropological Society got them to basically interact with them was to float coconuts to them from the boat. And I guess from that first gift of coconuts in the 60s, the Sentinelese were very happy to see those things again.
Oh, man. It's been decades. You teased us with coconuts. These things are amazing.
My grandfather told me about these.
Yeah, basically. So they did not fire any arrows. They floated the coconuts. Some of the Sentinelese came into the water, collected those things up, and they waded out to the boat even, examined the boat, and allowed some of the outsiders even to walk around on the beach and interact with the women, teenagers, and children who they brought out, which was, this was a rousing success that just should have stopped there. Yeah,
it should have. I guess, it kind of did, didn't it? After that, India passed the law that said no one can contact the Sentinelese.
As far as the official Indian government goes, but that didn't stop a certain someone from going.
No, no, it didn't. In 2006, some fishermen from Myanmar had to make an emergency landing, and they were killed. Their bodies were buried in the sand of North Sentinel Island. But the more famous death on North Sentinel Island came much more recently. I think it was in 2018 that a 26-year-old missionary and adventurer named John Allen Chow died from arrow wounds on North Sentinel Island. And this was not the first time he showed up on North Sentinel Island.
No, he was trying to spread the word of God. He was chronicling all of this in his diary, and he knew what he was in for. He, to his credit, he got all the vaccinations to make sure that he didn't get them sick and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And he brought dental forceps, apparently, in case he got arrowed, because he knew that was a possibility. Mm-hmm. He made a few different trips. He had this, local fisherman kind of take him out and back. The first time he waded up, he brought a fish as a gift and said, "My name is John. I love you, and Jesus loves you." And it was shoo, 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 arrows. They did not get him. He came back. They arrowed at him again, did not get him again. And I guess "Fool Me Twice" wasn't in John Allen Chow's repertoire, because he came back a third time and was arrowed for good.
Yeah, the fishermen he bribed to take him out there, and bribed is the word because they were knowingly breaking the law by helping him contact the North Sentinelese. They reported that they saw his body being dragged along the sand by the Sentinelese and that they buried it.
They buried all these guys.
Yeah, which I find interesting because
it's respect,
Yeah. But John Allen Chow's remains are still there today, as are the two fishermen who had to make an emergency landing, the fishermen from Myanmar, because part of not contacting the Sentinelese is not raiding North Sentinel Island, trying to bring the people who killed those guys to justice and or even recover the remains. So they're there for who knows how long.
Probably for good. I also failed to mention that in his second of the 3 trips, when he was arrowed at, and I believe this was in his diaries, a young boy actually shot an arrow through his waterproof Bible that he was holding up. And if that sort of symbolic message wasn't enough to keep him away, then nothing would have.
No, yeah, because he came back. But yeah, he's on one side, especially among evangelicals, he's viewed as literally a martyr.
Yeah.
On other sides, probably people on Instagram, he's viewed as an interloper who should not have been where he was, essentially.
Yeah. And of course, I don't think any loss of life like that is okay. But I just think people should heed the warnings. Like, they don't want to be contacted.
Yeah.
So just don't contact them.
Leave the North Sentinelese alone.
Yeah.
Short Stuff is out.
Stuff You Should Know is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.